Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Joe the Green. Welcome back to another combat sports related video here today. And as you can tell by the title, today we got UFC 260 Miocic versus Ngannou 2 extended promo by the great Axiom Combat. You saw he changed his name from Axiom Films to Axiom Combat. You know, names definitely suits him. He's one of the very best at making promos on the tube. You know, he puts a lot of detail and a lot of just hype behind his videos, which is a point of a promo. So shout out to Axiom Combat. But as we all know, UFC 260 is quickly approaching us. We got Francis Ngannou having his second shot at the heavyweight title of the world against the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest heavyweight to ever step foot in the octagon, Stipe Miocic. This is one of the most anticipated fights because of Ngannou's reputation. His killer power, his eraser, really changes everything for every person that faces him. But before I begin, if you enjoy any of those, really appreciate it. Hit that like button, turn on bell notifications to stay up to date with yours truly. And if you're new and you enjoy it, maybe it's your first time here, or you mess with the kid, hit that sub button, man, because once you do, you're part of the family forever, and it is growing. And I love you all for that. But let's get straight to the video screen. Let's see what we got here. Shout out to Axiom Combat, man.
Three fighters in the modern era have started their UFC careers 6-0 with 6 finishes. Rich Franklin, Anderson Silva, Ronda Rousey, Francis Ngannou with an opportunity to join that mix tonight.
Oh man, that was one of the most brutal knockouts I've ever seen in my life. It's pure power.
Where is the belt? It's in Cleveland, Ohio.
The man has a true eraser in those hands, man.
I think I got it.
Oh no, you got a title shot.
I'm gonna catch you and then I'm gonna connect it. And you know what happened when I connect?
That is it! And it's all over!
Not one hand of intimidation or anything like that?
No, that's what I signed up for. I don't want to be intimidated with another man. I mean,
don't lie, Stipe, don't lie.
The Predator Ngannou, potentially on the cusp of superstardom. First, he must get through Stipe Miocic.
This is such a great matchup, man, because we got the greatest to ever do it against the most dangerous man to ever do it, Francis Ngannou, as far as MMA. As far as power, most dangerous man ever against the best heavyweight ever. It doesn't get any better than this.
I think I underestimated a little bit.
I broke the record. I'm the best. End of story.
Francis,
he's right. He's right.
A very short but spectacular career. I'm sure you only get better after this fight.
It's a shame. I felt they pushed Ngannou a little bit too soon, and sadly, it seemed like Stipe broke Ngannou, and he had that awful fight against Derek Lewis.
I agree. Mentally, I think he might have hurt his pride a little bit, his fighting spirit, and he had a horrible fight against Derek Lewis. I agree. But since then, he's killed it, obviously. You saw what he's done since. Killer.
He's just destroying these elite heavyweights one after the next.
It's been a hard time, but listen, man, I'm back.
And I really want to fight this big, scary guy, Francis Ngannou.
Oh, man. I remember that. He just literally put him to sleep. He was asleep. He was taking a nap after that. That's insane.
Careful what you wish for, right?
Would you be interested in possibly getting that rematch back with Stipe and showing how far you've advanced since then?
Let's go back a little bit.
You made history tonight. 3 title defenses has never happened in the UFC heavyweight history.
Dana did say on the post-fight show, you and DC is a fight that he would love to see.
These two accepted a fight with each other, light heavyweight versus the heavyweight champion.
Great fights, man. Great fights. All of them. All 3 of those fights were very good.
Act 3 is upon us.
Oh, good right hand. Big right hand by Stipe. And a beautiful one by DC as well.
Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier go the full 25-minute distance.
The winner and still, Stipe Miocic, greatest UFC heavyweight champion.
Legend.
Stipe Miocic takes this fight there by the trilogy from October.
And he beat a legend. He beat DC. DC's one of the greatest heavyweights ever. Ever.
Who hasn't the guy beaten?
UFC accomplishments, there's not even a close second right now.
Does it mean anything to you to say I really swept the board of the last decade in terms of heavyweight contenders?
Wins over Hunt, Arlovsky, Verdum, Overeem, Santos, and Ngannou.
And you can see it. I mean, Stipe just continually gets better every single time out.
Stipe Miocic retains his UFC heavyweight title. Big shots.
The heavyweight champion of the world, ladies and gentlemen.
What's next?
Keep winning. I like winning.
What do you do with Francis now?
People wondering now, I guess, what's next for him.
He's worked his way back.
I'm just gonna look for what is next, which is title shot.
Okay then.
It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be real good.
I'm here with Francis Ngannou.
Ngannou is coming.
Stipe Miocic.
Cleveland, we got champion, baby. Jump Croatia, we got champion.
Baddest man on the planet, ladies and gentlemen.
It's on now.
I lost my last fight against Stipe.
Shout out to Cleveland, Ohio, man.
That fight. I have to grow as a fighter.
It's hard to deny you any longer.
I want the title shot back.
Stipe, you've already broken all the records.
Ain't nothing changing. And still.
I'll do better than I did the last time, and I'll do great.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
This time. We done this before. I fought him before.
There was danger in that first round. You know what I mean? He caught me in the first round a couple times, but after that, I took the will out of him, and that's what I do. I will take the will out of you.
I'm looking for revenge against Stipe Miocic.
I'm here to win. And still.
Heavyweight world title fight.
I'm back.
So I shut people up.
You're gonna see me around again. I did a mistake. That would not happen again.
Well done by Accident Combat. That was really well done. Definitely hyped that one up. Now to speak on this matchup, you know, Stipe in the last couple of years has really showed why he's the greatest of all time. He's extremely well rounded. I mean, he's fought, you know, different styles of fighter, different, you know, styles, and he's beat different styles at the highest levels. He beat DC, who admittedly should have used wrestling more in his matches. Maybe would have had a better shot at winning, but he adjusted to DC style, you know, with outwilling DC. And DC is one of the greatest to ever do it. You know, that's a very good example of why Stipe is so well rounded. And also against Ngannou. Against Ngannou, he did what he had to do to negate Ngannou's, you know, strengths. His strengths is striking. He hits like a damn getting hit with a club. So what he did was you know, take the man to the trenches, take takedowns, and just breaking him. And he did, not just physically but mentally for a while. That's why he's the champ. When you're the champ, you got to be able to adapt and make modifications to your approach depending on the opponent. And the only question here is, how is Stipe's chin? Because he went to war with DC 3 times. 3 times he went to war with him. And he was in war. Every single one was a war, man. DC was there. He was very competitive. He beat him once. He knocked him out once. You know, he knocked Stipe out once. And then the other 2, it was wars. It was this back and forth. And, you know, he's had some, I think it's fair to say, significant damage since the first Ngannou match, you know, since the first bout. Ngannou, on the other hand, is fairly new. He's fresh. And since the, you know, Miocic match, the first title fight, he's been annihilating these guys. I mean, yeah, he had the bad fight with Derek Lewis, but I think that was more mental. I think he lost, you know, the fire that fueled him. He lost it there. He lost the fighting spirit, and that's why it was a terrible fight. Him and Derek respected each other's power highly, and they didn't even really engage whatsoever. But after that, it's just annihilation after annihilation. It's just an execution. Every fight's an execution. Kane, Junior Dos Santos, and most recently Rosenstruck. He's been annihilating these guys. So he has little to no damage. Basically none. I mean, No damage. He's fresh as can be. The only thing I can't really say for sure is his abilities, his skills, because we haven't got a good template to go based off of, because these fights last seconds. I mean, the Rozenstruik fight was 20 seconds long. So I can't say that he's improved. I can't really say so, confidently, because I just haven't seen enough. And that's not his fault. He's just been annihilating everybody. Besides the Derek Lewis fight, which he didn't do much of anyways. He was just, they were just both super careful and cautious, overly cautious, to the point where the fight was awful. And he lost the fight because he just wasn't active. So we have a lot of questions that can't be answered, that cannot be answered until the night of. So we're going to have to wait and see. But as far as, my interpretation here, I think Stipe has enough in the tank to make it a war. Is his chin completely gone? I don't think so, because he went to war with DC a third time, and he held up well. He looked in very good shape, actually. That's probably the best shape I've seen him in a long time. He had the cardio, he had the will, he had the spirit, man. He was all in. He looked great. He looked world class. He looked like the heavyweight champion of the world, against a very good DC, I might add. Ngannou has freak power. I mean, he has unbelievable power. It's just, the question is, can Stipe take enough licks to get the job done? Because you're going to get hit. Maybe not by a clean, on the chin strike, but you're going to get hit. And that guy hit so hard that all those punches are significant. You're going to feel them. So the real question is, can Stipe sustain damage over 5 rounds? Well, unless he finishes Ngannou, which I don't think is likely. I think it'd probably be a submission, to be quite honest with you. Or, that's the most realistic way I see Miocic finishing Ngannou. Because toe-to-toe, I think he knows better. It's just too dangerous it's too dangerous to go toe-to-toe with this man. So as far as we know, he's too dangerous on the feet. You're going to get erased sooner or later. Miocic, we just don't know his ground. For him to negate for Ngannou to negate Miocic's approach, which I'm sure is going to be similar to the first, probably modified, since obviously they're not dumb and they know Ngannou and his camp are going to be preparing. Can he defend the takedown? How will he do in the clinch? Things like that. He's going to have to he's going to have to improve if he hopes to win this second bout, especially if Miocic tries to make it, a close quarter fight, in the clinch, constantly trying to take down Ngannou, press him, and just outwill him, having the cardio and the will that Miocic does. That's a big question. We just don't know. I can't really say how good Ngannou is at that. We just haven't seen him have to even defend takedowns, because he erases everyone so quickly, besides Miocic. Miocic's a champ, though, So we're going to have to see what happens. As far as how I see this fight going, I see Miocic, of course, once again, be extremely cautious, on the feet, using his boxing, and trying to outbox Ngannou, not get clipped, man. Because one shot could take you out. And because Ngannou is just such a powerhouse, it's just, he has a real shot against almost anyone he faces. His puncher's chance is unlike almost any other puncher's chance, and any other fighter's puncher's chance ever in history. He's just such a powerhouse that you got to say, man, this guy has a shot. You have to say it. You can't say he has no shot, despite him getting mauled by Miocic in the first encounter. And to be fair, he gave Miocic some damage. That guy, he only took a few shots, but his face was swelled up, man. That's how powerful this Ngannou is. So his puncher's chance is basically a real chance. It's different than saying, oh, Logan Paul has a puncher's chance against Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, he has a puncher's chance, but Ngannou's puncher's chance is something else entirely. And not to say, I'm not comparing Ngannou to Logan Paul. He's a real fighter. Logan Paul's not. I'm just using that as an example when I'm talking about puncher's chance. Because Ngannou obviously has real skills. To be in the UFC, you got to have some kind of skill. So I'm not saying he can't fight. Obviously he can. Obviously, you can. So no disrespect that was intended there. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Great video by Axiom Combat once again. Really well done. I'm hyped, man. I can't wait. We're about a week and a half away. So I love you all, and I will be doing a live reaction to that one. So tune into that one as well. But I love you all, guys. Leave any recommendations in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Jither signing out. Peace.